Hi, so you're interested in off-roading. I'm going to give you my top 10 rundown on the most appropriate modifications you can make. Number one, let's have a look at the tyres first of all. Probably your car's going to come on a set of road tyres. This is a typical 19-inch wheel, and you can see the amount of sidewall isn't that huge in it. If you're going to be off-roading, really what you need is to get yourself a set of mud terrains. On these wheels, which are the 17-inch, these are the largest tyres that you can fit on a 17-inch, and they're the 265 70 R17 Cooper Discovery STT Pros. Now, if you've got a Discovery 4, you're going to need to go for the 18-inch wheels because you need a slightly larger clearance for the discs to fit in there. If we maybe make a quick sort of actually look at the different types of tread that are on here. This tread is, as I said, it's the mud terrain. This is the most aggressive. You will get some extra noise as you're going down the road with it, and also it will impact your fuel consumption. Typically I'm finding it's about 5 miles to the gallon worse off after fitting these. Next one down from this I'd say is the all-terrains. All-terrains are going to give you less road noise, give you a bit better fuel consumption, but when you get into the really muddy conditions they won't give you the same level of traction. What actually works with these is you get rid of that mud that's on the surface, it goes down to the bedrock or the solid materials underneath and gives you the grip. Number two on my list is underbody protection. Comes in various different pieces and forms. The first one I'd talk about is the front bash guard. Really important here if you're going to be going up and over any large rocks or any areas that you're going to might potentially come down and hit. Also then, fitted into that, you often will find you have a sump protection. Also really important because you don't want to crack your sump and lose all your oil. Other body protection pieces, moving around to the side, we have the rock sliders or the tree sliders that are sometimes called. Additionally, you can get transmission guards and also guards to go on the arms as well. One piece I'll show on the other side as well here. The compressor on the Discovery 3 and 4 is literally just here. Normally it has a plastic cover on it. What I found was that that didn't really offer any protection at all, and when I went through some deep mud that got ripped off. Now it's got a full metal protection in there, and also actually helps because it gives a little bit of extra airflow through there as well. The normal one sometimes can get sort of jammed up with mud. Next up on my list is a raised air intake. Some people call it a snorkel. This one is a raised air intake, not a snorkel, because it's not 100% waterproof, but it's still very helpful if you are going to try and negotiate any deep water crossings. Again, remember that on your D3 and D4, your air intake is here. The raised air intake's primary use though is actually to prevent dust getting into the airbox, because by raising it up to this height here and also facing it backwards, that's going to prevent any of those dust clouds that are going to be coming into it. I'm going to put my gloves on for the next one. Next up on the list is the winch. Winch come in really two different types. Either you have the type that protrudes out the front where you can see it and easily get to it, or like this one we have the concealed winch. My preference for any winch is that you have a remote control. Much easier if you have the wireless type like this. Simple in-out option on it. Here I just actually can click the out button. That allows me to bring the rope out. The D3 and D4 already come with a a shackle point on them here, as you can see. And great thing about this is if you get stuck you can get yourself out, but more often than not I find it's other people that get stuck, so it's great fun actually pulling other people out with it as well. One thing I'll also point out as well, this one actually uses a rope. These are much safer than the older wires or the cables that we used to have. Actually, probably even more useful than the winch is a simple CB radio. When you're out in a group, really handy. If you do get stuck, you can call for help. Not to mention it's great fun and a little bit of banter as you're driving along, checking to see who everyone else is. Last but by no means least is your recovery and safety gear. First up, you saw with the winch, really important you get yourself a good set of leather gloves. Next, if you do by any chance turn the vehicle over or need to be able to get out quickly, you want yourself a glass smasher and also the knife for cutting the seat belts. If you're going anywhere as well, in the woods etc., great to have high-vis jacket. Fire extinguisher, again just in case, hopefully you never need it. Things that you probably will need: if you get stuck or if you're going to use your winch around a tree, you need a strop. With that strop, it's important as well you get yourself a good D-shackle to connect with it. Typically I'd say you want about a 10-ton strength in a strop as a minimum. Lastly, don't forget you need yourself a good jack. Don't use the normal scissor jack which is in the Discoveries, they're real killers. And also don't forget, if you have changed your wheels over, make sure you've got yourself a matching tyre. I've got mine stored up on top. Thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and look at some of the other videos we've got of this vehicle in action. Thanks a lot, bye bye.